Today on Sports Betting Truth, we're going to talk about being limited. Welcome back to Sports Betting Truth. For those of you new to this channel is about truths about sports betting, even if they don't sound good. No touting, no self-promotion, no vanity here, just the facts when it comes to sports betting. So if you like what this video has to bring to you, go ahead and hit the like button below because it really helps this channel out to help spread the message and get rid of all the garbage sports betting YouTube channels that are focused on touting and self-promotion and vanity that flood the sports betting YouTube scene. Now, before we begin, I just want to talk about BetMGM and BetRivers. They are the sponsors of this video. If you live in Tennessee, Colorado, Indiana, Iowa, or Virginia, sign up with BetMGM with the link below in the description, and you'll get up to a $600 risk-free bet upon signing up. That's a pretty good sign-up offer. And if you live in Illinois or Pennsylvania, BetRivers is your friend. Sign up with the link below and get up to a $250 instant deposit match if you sign up with the link below. Keep your money in the United States. Don't send it overseas to unregulated offshore books that can be fly-by-night joints that can take your money at any time, and because they're unregulated, there's nothing you'll be able to do about it. Don't take the risk. You're already taking enough of a risk by betting on sports. Don't make the risk even worse by sending your money overseas to shady, offshore, unregulated books. Sign up with BetMGM and BetRivers today. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about a subject that I get emailed about a lot and also commented on a lot, and that is the fear of being limited. And it's not just people that email me or comment on my videos, but I see this on online sports betting communities as well. Just people running around just with the fear that they're going to be limited. Like, it's a very common thing. And I want to talk about the truth about being limited because it's kind of a multi-dimensional issue. The first truth about being limited, that it really depends on the book. Now, I'm not going to have any sympathy for you if you sign up for a book that is known for limiting players and ends up limiting you. No sympathy. You should know better before signing up for a book and depositing money that they're going to limit winners, right? I'm going to use Casino Meister as an analogy. Now, Casino Meister is a online casino watchdog that has like a whole roster of all the internet casinos out there and gives them accreditation based on various factors, like if they pay you if you win, if their customer service is good, all that. I've never used an online casino before, but I know Casino Meister has that reputation. And they have what they call the no-can-do list. Now, if you play in an online casino and they, engage in shenanigans with you and like don't pay you out or try to screw you out of your winnings, you can go to Casino Meister and you can report to Casino Meister, hey, this casino is being unfair. And since Casino Meister has that big reputation of being the online casino watchdog, they have a lot of pull, and they can put on their website, hey, this casino is doing this, blah, 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 and they give the casino a chance to respond and work it out. They're kind of like a middleman between online casinos and the players to ensure fair play. But they have what they call the Rug Pit and the no-can-do list. And any online casino in the Rug Pit and the no-can-do list is, if you get screwed by one of those casinos, there's nothing Casino Meister can do about it because they have a long-standing reputation of screwing over players. And sorry, Casino Meister has tried in the past to work this out with these online casinos and just nothing happened, right? They are just clip shot joints that don't play fair. And so if you're going to pitch a complaint to Casino Meister about one of these no-can-do casinos, well, that's too bad. You should have read Casino Meister first before depositing your money and known that these casinos were up to no good and have a reputation for being up to no good. And online sportsbooks and sportsbooks in general are the same way. There are books out there, Bovada, William Hill, that have the reputation for limiting players that win. Even if you're not that good of a player, they just have the reputation out there that they will very quick to limit you. So if you're going to be limited by Bovada or William Hill, I'm not going to hear it from you. You should know better. You should know better. They limit. It's known. There's nothing you can do about it. So don't complain, okay? Don't complain. You should instead be depositing money in books that don't have the reputation of being quick to limit. I'm sorry. And Bovada, they might not just limit you, they might also deal you dual lines. Like they may give one set of lines to players that they consider square and another set of lines to players they consider sharp. I still think that's shady, and you shouldn't just do business with them. Now, that's the first dimension of limiting. The second dimension of limiting is books that are not like Bovada or William Hill, that are a lot more strict when it comes to limiting players. And by strict, I mean they're not going to limit you unless you're very, very, very good. So in order to be limited by one of these books, you have to meet 2 criteria. A, you have to be a long-term winner. So sportsbooks are not stupid. They're able to classify all of their players into groups, right? And they're going to know who their good players are and who their short-term lucky hot run players are that are eventually going to lose all their money back. They know. They have complex machine learning algorithms to classify players. And so the groups of players that are long-term winners and are identified as a risk to the book, now they'll keep an eye on those players. But players that don't fall into that group, they're not going to care if you're on a short-term winning streak. They're not going to ban you. They know that eventually, over time, they're going to win and grind you down. That's the first part of it. You have to be a long-term winner. And by long-term, I mean you have to be a consistent long-term winner to where their algorithms pick up the fact that, hey, you might be onto something. And so if you're in that very, very elite group, they're going to give you time because they want to use your betting information to help sharpen their own lines, right? They train their lines based on their sharp players. And so they're going to keep you in the hopper. If they limit you, then they're not going to be able to use your information, right? Because you're limited, and so you're probably not going to bet as much. No, you have value to them in the fact that you know what you're doing, and they can train and sharpen their lines based on your play. Now, that's the first step. You have to be identified as a long-term winner, and I guarantee you most people out there, 99% of people out there are not going to fall into that category. And then out of the very elite group that can be identified as a long-term winner, you have the fact that you have to be betting enough money to where it's a risk. If you're identified as a long-term winner, but you're betting $20 a game, they're not going to care. You have to be betting enough money to where, okay, if this guy keeps winning at the rate he's winning, betting this amount, he presents a long-term risk to our bottom line, and therefore they're going to consider limiting you. But in order to meet both criteria, a long-term winner identified by the book to where the point where the information they're getting from your playing style is not worth the risk you pose and the amount you're betting, then yeah, they might limit you. They might limit you. Now, there's some books out there that won't limit you at all, like Pinnacle, and Westgate here in Las Vegas has a very strong reputation for not shying away from sharp action, but for the most part, if you're a very consistent long-term winner and the book's had enough of you and you're betting enough to where you present a risk to your bottom line, yeah, you have a good chance of being limited, but I guarantee you 99.99% of people out there are not going to meet those 2 criteria. So therefore, you really have nothing to worry about when it comes to being limited. I've never been limited before, and I don't know what would consider to be a long-term winner in my end. I'm not winning in college basketball this year. I didn't win in baseball last year. I had a stretch in college basketball last year where I did very well, but I never was limited. So I don't have the experience of being limited, so I really wouldn't be able to tell you much about it. But just based on my own research and what I know, let's be real, most people have nothing to worry about when it comes to being limited because most people aren't going to be long-term winners, and those very few who are, how many of them are betting enough to where the book's going to be like, okay, this guy's, we gotta limit him, right? So I ultimately think that being limited comes down to 2 things. Yeah, you might be limited by William Hill or Bovada very quickly, but that is what it is. And then I also feel like a lot of people cry about being limited, not because they're actually being limited, but as a way to peacock. And when I say peacock, it's just another way of showing off, bragging, yeah, I got limited. It's your way of bragging to other people that you're good at betting on sports. But if you got limited at Bovada and William Hill, that really means nothing. That's the equivalent of saying that you went down a very tough ski run on the mountain by side sliding it or whatever and not actually going down it. So that's probably not something to brag about. But I ultimately think, just based on what I've seen online and stuff, that a lot of people bring up the whole limitation thing because they're trying to show off to others. And they were either limited by a book that limits everybody or weren't actually limited. So that's really the truth about limiting. If you're not a long-term winner and if you're not betting a lot of money, you have nothing to worry about. Just bet. Don't worry about being limited. And don't sign up at books that are quick to limit players for winning and don't tolerate winners. And that's all you need to know. Well, that wraps it up for this video, the truth about being limited. Again, if you like this video and you like the content that I come out with here, sports betting talk and advice without any touting or self-promotion or vanity or anything like that pollutes the YouTube sports betting scene, hit the like button on this video so videos like mine can be put to the top of the YouTube algorithm instead of the trash self-promoting, touting videos that are on YouTube when it comes to sports betting instead. All right, guys. That wraps it up today for Sports Betting Truth. Until next time, this is Sports Betting Truth signing off.